So we're able to move along with the architect and her
Yes,
absence. Okay.
she's gonna join, so at some point.
Okay. Hi,
Hello.
Good evening.
good evening.
Can you state your name?
Well, sure. My name is Vicente Varela. I'm an architect in New Jersey. Um, I've been an architect since 2014. I graduated from NGIT in 2005, and I've appeared before many boards, including the Historic Board here in Newark and the Zoning Board in Newark.
Welcome, welcome. So you're here to represent application H25-048, 86-88 Chancellor Avenue. The applicant is Miss Vivian Parks. Do you have something that you'd like to present to us to share on the screen?
Yes, can I share?
Yes.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And I just want to make a note to all the commissioners. They did present at design review where a few commissioners were present to go over their presentation.
Okay. So, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not sure if you want me to focus on
Only,
zoning.
only everything that's just on the outside of the house, nothing on the inside of the house.
Okay. So here I'm showing the version that we have where we're not touching the roof at all at the front. We're
Mhm.
only doing a dormer towards the rear. Um, it looks something like this. So we would dormer the backside, and then
Okay.
we would lift it up towards the middle to get more space in the middle portion here, inside. And the roof at the front would remain as is. The storefront would maintain the same, um, what's called the same pattern.
Facade there.
Yes, same pattern as is existing. We would just update the aluminum frames and the glass, but same opening, same size, same patterns. Same thing for the entry. Um, it would still be aluminum, but now it would be a black aluminum as opposed to a silver aluminum. We would keep the transoms look that's there. And then for the door itself, we're proposing something like this door. It would just be one leaf here.
This is Commissioner Miller. I believe, Mr. Varela, the doors and window, we already had a previous application with your client that we already approved, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. So we're not here to discuss this. We're here just to discuss, if I'm not mistaken, Commissioner Miller, about the dormer that's in the back of the home, right?
Correct. That was the only thing we had. And we also made sure that all the windows are actually the same. They have the same finish. Because like, as I mentioned to the applicant, on the left side, the one that's showing on the screen right now, inside, you can see that they put vinyl window in there. So we don't want the vinyl window there. So just make sure that all of them are metal, like the other ones.
Okay, that's fine. They would all be metal, black anodized aluminum.
Okay.
So would that complete your presentation?
Yeah, I mean, unless you have any other questions.
Well, let me just turn it over to my fellow commissioners. Are there any questions from the commissioners?
Yes, Commissioner Woodridge. One question is the photo on the left-hand side that shows sort of like a curtain wall. Where does that come into play in this particular project?
That was just a sample of the black anodized aluminum framing.
So it's not basically showing the facade of the building.
Correct. It's only for a material sample.
And can you just tell me what the material is?
Black anodized aluminum.
Okay.
That's the sorry. That's the mullions of the storefront here.
So you're not using the HVAC filter that you have on the outside of the building?
No, no. No, that would not be here.
And this only occurs if you go back to the elevation, it only goes to the upper floor of the elevation?
Right, it happens at the first floor level here.
Okay, on the front entrance?
Yes,
Okay,
which I'll show a photo of the existing. Looks like this.
I
This is
see,
the
okay.
existing.
So it stays in performance what the existing facade was?
Yes, yes, we'll keep the same pattern of the storefront that's there. The only thing that would change is instead of white, it would be black.
Actually, this is Commissioner Miller. Can you show us a more recent, that one is a very old picture. Can you show us a more recent one that you have? So the commissioners will see what's there now.
Okay, let me check. I believe it should be the same. That's from 2023. That photo.
I believe that's incorrect.
Okay, let me take a look here. Okay, this. Okay, this is from.
If I may interrupt,
Yeah.
Mrs. Vivian Parks, the house has not changed. That it looks exactly the same. It is not a recent picture, but it is exactly the same. Nothing on that, the front of that house has changed.
Okay, these are from 2024. This picture here.
So
it would-
the 2024, basically the picture is just highlighting the windows, right?
Yes, this picture highlights the windows portion at the front.
Okay, so it's not the entire facade, and it has a nice look in terms of the ceiling.
Yes, it does.
So everything else basically is from the sill of the windows, everything else is the existing things that were there.
Yes, yes. We're not changing any framing. We're not adding anything at the front.
And so, and the purpose for coming to this particular, because you've been here several times, well, you haven't, but we've seen this project several times, it's just about the dormer in the back of the house, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, it is. It's about the dormer in the back of the house.
So,
And
just one, Ms. Parks, Commissioner Woodruff, do you have any additional questions?
No,
Okay. Woodridge, I'm sorry, I said Woodruff. Apologize.
no problem.
Any additional questions from the other commissioners?
Can you just show an elevation of the whole existing building in the photo from the front that we're looking at?
I don't have a good zoomed out photo of it. Let me see if I do. Yeah, I don't have a good personal zoomed out photo.
So what is the lower picture at the bottom of your screen? What is that picture there? That's what is that?
Oh, this one.
Those pictures, not that one, but the one next to it.
Yeah, these are at the rear.
Oh, okay, that's just the rear. Okay.
Yeah, but the Google photo, there has been no work done to the building.
And this just out of curiosity, this is Commissioner Smith, because this has been almost a 3-year long experience. No one has been living in there either, right?
I don't know.
No.
No, that's because it doesn't look like it.
no one's living there. No
Yes,
one has
no.
been living there. No.
The only question I'd have is that this is how old is this building?
It was built, I believe, in 1947,
And
if
so
I'm not mistaken.
I understand, but you have you're not going to have a guardrail over that at the first floor level?
Well, none was requested in all of the other meetings that I've been in front of you. No one has ever mentioned it.
It shouldn't be required. based on
Commissioner
the height.
Miller, Commissioner Woodbridge, I believe that based on the architecture of the house, that's something that's supposed to remain the way it is.
Yes.
Because of the history?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it doesn't, so we don't have to worry about the 18-inch formulas and things
We
like
don't have to
that.
worry about any of those things.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep,
It's a contributed building to the area.
yep.
I got you.
Commissioners, any additional questions? If we don't have any additional questions, you could take your presentation down. Madam Secretary, is there anyone here from the public that may have anything to say about this particular project? Madam Secretary?
Anyone from the public, if you have any objections or you want to make any announcement on this project, please raise your hand. I don't see any raised hand.
Okay, so that being said, can I get a motion to move forward with what has been presented to us in design review and now to all the commissioners here?
This is Commissioner Miller. I move to approve this project as shown today. And also, I already had the approval of this landmark commission for the windows and doors and approve as presented today.
Thank you. Can I get a
Mr.
second?
Chairman, this is Gonzalez, and I move to second that the motion for application H 25-048. I'll second that. And I wanted to go on record to thank the applicant for their patience that they've extended to the commission. I know it's been a long, arduous process, but I think we're here now, and we're finally she can kind of get this project moving. So thank you, Ms.
Mhm.
Yes.
Motion made by Commissioner Miller, seconded by Commissioner Coombs Hollis. Commissioner Woodridge,
Yes.
Commissioner Forsyth,
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell Epps,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Toole,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Coombs Hollis,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes.
Motion carry, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Ms. Parks, enjoy your new home.
Thank you, guys. You still here?
You're muted.
No.
I'd like to go on record and say that I believe that this commission has behaved extremely unfairly to me. So let that be on record. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Everyone's going, we can go to the next order of business.
Yes.
Okay, the next application is H 25-060, 21 Sussex Avenue and James Street Commons. The applicant is Andrew Kreis. Is he here?
Yes, I'm bringing him in. Another raised hand.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Kreis. Is there anyone else here with you that's going to be presenting?
Yes, our architect, if the team that we have could raise their hands, so Ms. Taylor could bring them in.
Yes, I just brought them in.
Okay, great.
I think I have one more raised hand.
Yeah, and another representative from NJIT in case we have any other questions.
Okay, I think everyone is in now.
Okay,
Thank you,
great.
Madam Secretary. So, Mr. Kreis, do you have a presentation? If so, can you bring it up?
So I'll have the architect do that in a moment. I want to thank the commission for hearing us tonight, and the project that we have before you at 21 Sussex Avenue, most recently known as the Muller's Florist Warehouse, we're here tonight because we need to remediate significant health and safety concerns for the facade. We did participate in design review, and we have with us this evening our architect, Don Diaz, from Diaz Architects, who can explain the technical components of the work. But in general, it's the scope will consist of restoring the existing terracotta, facade along Sussex Avenue and the southerly portion of the west elevation of Summit Street and replace the entire south building roof assembly. So unless you have any questions from me on the NJIT, use of the building or any of those things, I'll be happy to let Mr. Diaz present.
No, you can move forward.
Great, thank you.
Okay, can everybody hear me? Dom Diaz?
Yes.
Sir,
Okay, great. I'm Dom Diaz, president of Diaz Architects, licensed registered architect. I'm also a graduate of NJIT 1988 and licensed architect in 1994. I have presented in various boards in the past, consisting of Englishtown, Westfield, Elizabeth. I'm here to represent NJIT concerning 21 Sussex Avenue, as we just spoke to, commonly referred to as the Mueller Building. Now, I just want to describe the Mueller Building contains two portions. One portion is the South Ornamental Building, what we call, and then the North Warehouse Structure. So we are not talking about the warehouse structure that's on the north side. We're just discussing the south structure. The building was purchased maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Correct me if I'm wrong. By NJIT. It was in a deteriorated state. The roofing was deteriorated to a point that many of there was holes in the roof, deteriorated plywood, deteriorated joists. The terracotta facade, cornice, and brick parapet were in a dilapidated state as well. And that was also exhibited advanced deterioration with a lot of cracked terracotta, brackets, displaced corners, which we now have stabilized and put sidewalk bridge for the safety of the public. And the brick parapet on the north side, which is in a bad, deteriorated state. So having said that, we were asked by NJIT to prepare a report on the condition of the building, and we obviously have documented through probes and various other observations with our structural engineer and ourselves these conditions, and had the following recommendations. Recommendation number 1, which we have prepared construction documents attesting to this, is to replace the entire terracotta portion above the lintels. So therefore, the terracotta and brick parapet curbs and copings are being replaced. The terracotta cornice and brackets are being replaced. The terracotta fascia above the spandrel panel, above the windows, are also being replaced. They're going to be replaced with terracotta, with the exact replica of the shape and color. And it's going to be either fabricated by one of 2 manufacturers in the United States, either Boston Valley Terracotta, which is located in upstate New York, or Gladding McBeam, which is located in California. The roofing is also going to be replaced with a 2-ply modified bitumen roofing on tapered insulation, and it's going to properly slope to scuppers that are in the newly constructed brick parapet wall on the north side. The remaining terracotta below the spandrel beam will be clean, repointed, patched, and localized replacement of units that cannot be salvaged. So the end result is that we're going to have a building that looks exactly the same as it is, but in a new state of existence, with a structure that is going to have all stainless steel anchorage, and properly anchored to the existing spandrel beam that will also be properly cleaned, primed, painted. Rebars will be installed to solidify the terracotta and brick parapet wall. So having said that, I don't know if there's any questions, or is it anybody have any questions concerning?
So thank you, Mr. Diaz, for your presentation. And commissioners, any questions?
Yes.
Commissioner Woodruff?
Which is looking at the plan, which is the north side?
Okay, what you're looking at the top is the south side. The north side abuts the warehouse, so you don't see it. And there's another small picture on the lower right-hand side, which is the west elevation. So basically the north abuts the warehouse, the east abuts a neighboring two-story frame. So there's only two elevations that are visible.
Can you just point your finger or something like that showing what the north side is?
Yeah, can you do that? Somebody else is controlling my, Kevin, can you do that? Yeah, there.
There's the north side.
Yeah.
Well, that's the corner. So I want to know if the long facade on the front is the north side or the short one on the right.
The slanted portion at the top faces Sussex Street. It's a street facade, and the lower portion, which shows what we call crickets, abut to the adjacent warehouse structure.
So that's the south side right there.
The south faces Sussex, and the north, where the crickets abut to the adjacent warehouse. So you don't really see that facade on the north side.
So the side that's visible to the public is the one that is the slant, correct?
Is the south elevation, and the west.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I can't tell which one. I hear what you're saying, but I just want to make sure it's correct, because I'm not trying to get in the way of anything of what you're doing.
Right.
But if you can at least point to me which elevation is the north side, I'd appreciate it.
There is no north elevation. There's no north elevation.
No, not a north elevation, just north side. I mean, you got
North side.
four sides there. So you have north, south, east, west. I just want to know which one's the north side. That's it.
Kevin, can you please be kind enough to show the north side? That's the west side. The north side is where the crickets are. Please, there we go. That's the north side.
That's all I wanted to know.
Yep.
Where that is. That's the north side of the building.
Of the building, correct.
Well, that's actually a tie into the other section of the building, right,
Correct.
Dom? Yeah. So there's a bowstring truss section of the building that is a section behind this that goes for probably another 100 feet or so to the north.
Correct.
We're not impacting that section at all.
Exactly, and it's not visible. That wall is not from the street. It's an interior wall with a small 3-foot section that is the parapet.
Do you have the building survey?
We do not have a building survey, no. This is
I was just interested in seeing what was abutting the building on the sides and the street. The street.
May I suggest pulling up Google Earth so that we can see that?
We can do that. Kevin, can you?
Yes.
And then I have a quick question for you, which is, I don't know what our purview is right now, but are all the windows being restored, and is the door being restored to its original size?
No, the windows are not being restored. Presently, where used to be windows, is concrete block from the original owner, and there's signage, NGIT signage.
Okay, so
those are not being those are being maintained as is.
I see.
I don't know if this helps this perspective view. We can get a roof view if you like.
I think a street, a bird eye view would be great.
Okay. Kevin, can you do a roof? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Just holding again. Sorry for the
No
inconvenience.
problem. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Yep, there we go. Yeah, yeah, okay, Kevin, that's good. Hold it there.
Yes.
So you could see, just hold it there, please. You can see the triangle. I'm going to try to orient everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You see the triangular park that is the street closest is Sussex. Okay. Central Avenue is the one where those two cars are. And then what we call the South Ornamental Building, you can see it rising a little bit above. You see that? And then the whole back portion is what we call the warehouse structure, which we're not touching. And it's non-ornamental, it's brick. But nevertheless, we are just dealing with the terracotta. Does that answer your question?
Pretty good, yes.
All right.
Yes.
This is Commissioner Miller. The applicant, Mr. Kreis, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Chris, yes.
Correct. Okay. I have a question for you. When you guys put all of the signage on this building, did you guys had a conversation with the Landmark Commission before you guys put all the signage in the window?
That was actually done. I don't recall having a conversation with Landmarks at the time, but it was done to mitigate a vandalism, a tagging problem, a graffiti problem that we inherited from the previous owner. So having that signage on the building has prevented any additional graffiti from happening since 2017. There hasn't been a single incident of graffiti on that building since those decals, and they're just decals on the face of the plywood that was originally just a red stained plywood. It was quite ugly.
Okay, so the building is amazing, and I really appreciate that you guys try to maintain the integrity of what it is, and even replacing it with like-for-like material. And I believe I made this comment when we was in design review. So, usually we get individuals that want to knock it down and put something else. And, we appreciate that you want to maintain the integrity and the historical aspect and the element of this building. However, I think we should have a conversation with regard to the signage because it takes away a lot from the architecture and the look of the building. That's something that I think that you should have a conversation with us, Landmark Commission, with regard to that.
So this is
Sorry.
Commissioner Fisher, you mean having a conversation currently right now about that?
It should be, well, this is something different. The signage is something that we just kind of, we just kind of came
So
to.
they have to come back to the commission for that because
Correct.
this
Correct.
application is not about that. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, gotcha. All right. So as it relates to the application and what the applicant is here for, does any commissioners, are there any additional questions from the commissioners today? I'm gonna take that as a no. Madam Secretary, is there anyone from the public that has any comments or statements as relates to this application?
I don't see any raised hand.
Okay, you can take down your presentation or the Google Earth.
Okay, thank you.
Since all questions have been answered and they've came through design review, can I get a motion to move on this application H25-060?
Commissioner Miller. Oh, I'm sorry,
Oh,
somebody
sorry.
said something. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Commissioner Forsyth, I move that the application H25-620,
No, 060.
6060.
No.
No.
H25060.
That's why I never do this.
Good.
H25-060
Yes.
be approved.
Commissioner Miller, I second that motion. Also, let's keep, the applicant will be reaching out to us with regard to the signage, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Motion made by Commissioner Forsyth, seconded by Commissioner Miller. Commissioner Combs Hollis,
Yes.
Commissioner Grosclose,
Yes.
Commissioner Woodridge,
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell Epps,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Toole,
Yes.
Commissioner Forsyth,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes.
Motion carry 8 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. We appreciate your time tonight. And we'll be in touch regarding the signing.
Thank
signage.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Are we ready to move forward, Madam Secretary?
Yes.
Okay, the next applicant is H25-070 52-54 Weekway Avenue. The applicant is
I'm
Antonio.
sorry, Mr. Smith, we have one of Mr. Kwong is here.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, let's start this again. Application H25-070. Address is 52-54 Weekway Avenue. The applicant is Antonio Adams. Madam Secretary, is he here?
I don't see any raised hand. If you're there for 52-54 Weekway Avenue, please raise your hand so I can bring you in. Okay.
Are they here?
Yes.
Mr. Chandra?
Okay, everyone should be in.
Right now? I will call you right back.
Mr. Adams? Is he here?
Good afternoon. Good people. Good evening, I should say.
Good evening, Mr. Adams. How are you?
I'm well. I'm actually the property owner. Mr. Adams, he's the contractor.
Mr.
of record.
King.
Yes,
Hi, Mr. King. Good evening. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
So, will you be presenting?
I was hoping that my architect would be present. I don't know if he has raised his hand or not.
He's there. He's there.
He's there?
Okay.
Madam Secretary, please let him in.
He's already in.
He's already in?
Yes, I'm here. Jacob Solomon, architect.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Solomon. How are you?
Oh, good. Very well. Thank you.
1 second. Sorry about that. So, sir, can you bring up your screen and present? You're here for applicants proposing to build a powder room on the first floor, also to enclose the porch on the front of the building to create a powder room in the foyer area, right?
Correct.
Okay,
We submitted previously, and we revised the drawings because one of the main comments from the board was to retain the columns on the porch in the historic district. So we revised the plans to continue with the concept of enclosing the front porch. We also included the columns on this porch. So they're still present from the street. And these columns will be supporting the roof overhang over the front door. We'll be matching the stucco and the materials of the existing dwelling to blend it into the existing structure and materials.
okay, and did excuse me, this is Commissioner Smith, did I hear that you said you came to design review?
A few weeks ago,
Okay, gotcha.
we presented, yeah, and the main
Okay.
comment from the board, the feedback that we received was that
Okay.
they'd like to retain the columns for the historic character of the neighborhood. So they permitted us to go back to the board, so to speak, and revise our drawings to incorporate the columns on the porch.
So you're presenting the recommendations from the board?
That's correct.
Okay.
I could go to the plan for a moment here.
Sorry, I just wanted to make a comment. My name is Kai. I'm also one of the owners on the property. We have two drawings that we submitted, both retain the columns. And so Mr. Solomon is going to present the second version of the drawing.
So Ms. King, is the second version in concert with what the recommendations were from?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, both of them are, they're just a different type of design. One extends the roof, the other one just encloses the existing roof and puts the columns in like a pocket, which Jacob will kind of explain further.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So in this concept, let me zoom in a bit. In this concept with the porch, sorry. Okay, on the front porch here, we're having a landing. It's actually one step up to the entry door. And in plan, we're retaining pretty much the same size of the existing landing. We're incorporating the powder room in this enclosed porch, and we're chamfering the edges of this addition so we can have the porch columns sit on the edges of the porch to support the roof. So in the elevation, I'll slide over a little bit. So in the elevation, the corners here will be transferred and the columns will be projected on the front of the porch so they'll be visible as a structural element holding up the roof. And this scheme retains basically the same size of the landing that is currently there now, the open landing. In the second scheme, I see from the side elevation here, you can see the column is exposed on the chamfered corner and we have a window in the bathroom. On the second scheme, what we did was we enlarged the porch. Then we enlarged the landing here and extended the front step in the second scheme. Having the ability to expand the front entry, we're able to now center the entry door in the center of the addition, retain the powder room as the program required, and also maintain the porch columns on the front. So both these schemes
Commissioner Miller, I'm
retain
sorry,
the
Mr.
columns.
Solomon, can you bring, oh, okay, I can see it better now. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna slide over a little bit. Slide over. So in the elevation, we have the enclosed vestibule, which is a little wider. It's a little larger than the existing vestibule. And we're adding this front covered porch here on columns, which will be freestanding away from the front of the building, as you can see in the side elevation, where we maintain that covered porch concept, as well as the addition. So both these schemes maintain the columns on the front porch that are visible from the street for the historic look. The second scheme just enlarges the size of the vestibule so we can center the front door into the porch. And those are basically.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you
That's right.
finished?
No,
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
You
I'm
finished
going
with
to
the
ask about the
presentation?
front door. is the front door a duplicate or the same as the existing front door?
We'll try to match the existing front door. I think it might need to be replaced because for Jace, but we'll try to match the historic character of the front door. This diagram is just a placeholder, but we will try to match the historic character of the front door that's there now.
Was there any view of who is at your door from the inside?
No.
Okay.
This is Commissioner Miller. You have steps?
It's just one step up to the door.
Okay.
The walkway is fairly level with grade, so it's just one step, just a platform.
Can you show me the side?
This
I
is
see the side here.
Yeah.
So you only have one window on the side.
Yeah, that's from the bathroom. We can add a window. I think I did. Yeah, we added a window on the other side as well. I didn't show the elevation because it's a mirror of this one. There's a window on the side. Each side has a window.
Can you show me your present door, please? The picture of the present door. Are you keeping or you put in a new one?
It's up to the homeowner, but if they need to replace it, they'll
We
try to
would need
replace
to
it with
replace
a
it. It would be
historic
a
one.
new
Yeah.
one. Yes.
Oh, you're gonna replace it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All
I
right.
see.
Never mind. I don't need to see it then.
Okay. I might have a picture.
She's good.
Okay.
This is Commissioner Miller. I think I see the right side, the window on the other side,
Yes.
which is the left side. Is there a window there too, or is
Yes, there is. It's in plan here, but it'll be a mirror image of the same elevation. There'll be a window on each side.
Okay.
So this right side will match the left side, just reversed.
Okay.
Commissioner Grosskloss, do you have a picture of the house and an artist conception of it on the house? I mean, seeing these lines and so forth, I'd like to see how it looks on the real house and if they've done that work yet, so that we can see what it looks like. This is just a drawing, and I'd like to see something better.
Okay, I have not prepared a three-dimensional
But can you go to
rendering.
Google? Can you go to Google Earth and pull up something so we can see?
Want to see a picture of the house or?
I think it's gonna show the rendering.
Is it going to show the rendering?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
He's trying to see how it's
Yeah.
gonna look afterwards.
Oh, he wants to look
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, the after. This is the existing now.
Okay.
It looks like a fairly simple wood panel door, maybe with a light or two, but I'm sure the homeowner will, replace it with something a little more character. Yeah.
Well, I think this is Commissioner Caldwell Epps, to see a rendering of what the entire facade will look like when finished, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Yes, I would like to see that as well.
And I would only add, commissioners respectfully, I mean, that's an additional cost, right? And even trying to get to this state that Jacob is showing to you right now, I mean, this is already above and beyond, what we had initially budgeted to even attend to this particular, part of our renovation. So just know that your request come obviously with additional cost. If you're looking for something like that, that's just more burden on the homeowner. So I would only ask that you respectfully consider that.
Excuse me, Caldwell Epps again. I understand your point, but it's kind of hard to approve of something that we haven't. I just needed to see something a little bit more. I will rescind my request if no one else on the commission has the same concern.
I do appreciate it. Then let me add this as well. We're not changing anything outside of the character of the existing home. So, what you see from the existing home, this new front enclosure will mirror in materials and in look exactly the same. So we're not proposing, some grandiose scheme, if you will, that is at all away from the absolute character of this home as it presently is. So hopefully the imagination won't need to go too far as to, again, what we're trying to attempt here. Just simply enclosing the front porch. And again, keeping, as our architect has already spoken to, keeping the exact same materials, character as the already existing structure.
This is Commissioner Forsyth. I just had a question in terms of the fact that, do you want us to weigh in on which proposal we prefer?
I absolutely would welcome that. Yes.
Because
absolutely.
I really like the second proposal.
Okay. Just know that both of them are more costly than what we had initially planned to do.
Of course
and,
it is. Of course.
And Commissioner Forsyth, you like I have an expensive eye. So the one that you just chose is the most expensive of the two. But that's
Yeah.
okay, you know?
I think the chamfered corners with the fitting in the columns feels like the tail is wagging the dog.
Okay.
So I feel like that the extension, the more expensive, obviously, option is better.
Yes, indeed.
Would you be able to? I'm sorry.
The reason I'm asking the question is because when we saw the picture of the present house and the house next door, they were both beautiful homes. The one on the left-hand side is not going to be changed, but yours is. And I wanted to see the projection of that alongside of the other house. I mean, that to me, this is a neighborhood, not just one house.
So keep in mind that, correct, this is a neighborhood and there are far more homes on this street than just the two that you just mentioned, right? So if you actually looked at the complete story of the neighborhood, you will actually see homes that have converted their front porches where they did not retain the columns at all.
They didn't come for our commission.
Regardless, I'm just telling you what the complete story of the neighborhood is, right? So, right, you're speaking to two homes on the block, but there are far more than just two homes on the block. So there's a very diverse picture and a very diverse story going on our block. We want to absolutely remain in step with what you're recommending because, quite frankly, we agree with it. We want to retain the character as well by keeping the columns. Just, again, I would ask that you again, could keep in mind the complete picture of our neighborhood. There are homes that have either completely removed their columns altogether. There are some homes that have retained them. It's a mixture of both. So I would also ask that you keep that in mind if you please.
That was this Commissioner Woodridge. That was both of your statements were good, but I do think that it's kind of like rough for me to say why isn't the picture present even if it's in your pocket, a wallet, or anything, but just showing
a picture of the property as it stands right now.
Yes, that's all.
I believe we have that.
We have that.
Yeah, this is Coombs Hollis, and I was at the design review along with 3 other of our commissioners, and the suggestions that we made at the design review is what they are actually presenting regarding maintaining the columns. What we did not request at the design review was for the applicant to bring renderings to this meeting. So I want us to keep that in mind.
That's all. Yes, I know what you're saying, but that's the key thing because you basically seeing a picture. Now we see what you're doing.
Oh, I wasn't done. Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Cole. You know, I'm not being a bully or anything, so don't take it like that. But really, the thing that I generally see on most things is the opening thing would be the picture of the existing condition. That's all.
This is Commissioner Smith. So for those who attended the design review, as Commissioner Hollis spoke about, and now that we've seen what the actual site looks like, house looks like, and also they adhered and did made all the recommendations that we suggested. Is there any additional questions?
This is Commissioner Miller. It's just one thing that I noticed on the drawing, the window on the side, they're very small, and it would be nice if they can be, if you look at this picture there, the more smaller window that's sitting there, if you could have smaller window but long on the side, it will look better than having just that little one on the side. Like, you know, it looks small. Like if you go back to the drawing,
Where are you talking about?
Yeah.
Lakari, where are you talking?
I'm talking about the
On the
design.
side, I think
design.
she's referring to the side. I
Um,
want us to make sure that we keep in mind that this is a first floor bathroom addition, not a bedroom addition. And so maybe our architects can speak to that as to, I guess, from the view from the street. And I get what Commissioner Miller is asking. Maybe it should be a full-size mirror window, but maybe our architects can weigh in because it is a bathroom that window would provide.
Is it a bathroom? Oh, I thought it was a.
It's
I'm
it's
sorry.
for the bathroom.
God,
It's
is
for
it
the
a bathroom?
Yeah,
Yes,
Oh,
and
okay.
frankly, you would not
this
even
is
be able to see this window from the
Yeah.
street.
yeah.
Yeah, this is Commissioner O2, and I agree with Commissioner Woodridge. You wouldn't be able to see it, so you would have to really get onto the property and look to the right side of the building. So I don't think it's significant, quote unquote. I think they put the window there just to get some natural light, but it's not significant, and you won't see it from the street.
Yeah, one of the things, this is Coombs Hollis again, that's represented on the plan, which we did not discuss at the design review, is there is some change being made to the garage. I don't know if it is significant enough to even mention, but you could briefly maybe talk about what you are proposing for the garage after we're done with the front,
Yes.
operation.
Yes.
I just have one question on the front. If I'm walking in that gate and I'm on the right-hand side, is that ground even to the exact same elevation as the one on the left, the large lawn on the left?
No, the grade slopes down as you go to the blue-sided house. The grade slopes away from the dwelling.
Is there a fence there that basically is on the property line?
There is a
Didn't notice.
side path down, yes. On the right side, if you were
Yeah.
to walk up to the home to the right side, there's actually you could call it a path or a sidewalk, if you will, that travels down the side of the home. There is a side door to our property. And so this sidewalk does go to that side door, if you will.
If I said the elevation between it, would it be 12 inches, 36 inches? Well, just a guess.
The elevation doesn't actually fall off until after. So if we're talking about the right-hand side, which I know we are,
right?
The elevation doesn't slope off until maybe 6 to 12 inches after the right side of the front porch.
Solomon, would it be possible for you to show that to us?
Can you see the picture on the screen here, or?
No, we have another picture there.
We just see the front elevation.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I don't know how to bring that up. Oops. You just see this front elevation?
Yeah, same thing, just the front elevation. We don't see where from the step or a porch, the elevation difference there to the property line.
Okay.
Is it a 10 inch, I mean, a 10% slope, 15% slope, 5% slope? What is the slope of that land at that side?
It slopes down about 12 inches, 12 to 14 inches from the pathway to the side yard.
So sloping that dimension, what is I'm trying to figure out what is the percentage?
It drops, I'd say it drops, I'd say 8 inches over 2 feet, 2.5 feet. 8 inches over 30 inches.
So it's like 25%.
Yeah.
And there's no pathway walking on that path, right?
No.
So
the pathway to the stoop is level.
So the back door to the property is on what side of the building, the back door?
The walkway is on the low side, on the right side, to the back.
So if it's on the right side, looking at the elevation, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is the slope on the sidewalk from left to right?
Well, the sidewalk is level. It's just the grade slopes the way after the path.
Okay, so the sidewalk is level all the way to
It's level, correct, yeah. It drops off after the walkway.
And when it drops, and the sidewalk is how wide?
It was snow covered. It's about 4 feet.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And then, so after that, it's level there, then it pitches off down into the grass area.
That's correct, yeah. Yeah, there's a little, actually a concrete curb along the sidewalk.
I was just making sure that if somebody was running out of the building
Oh,
for
okay.
whatever reason, that they have a pathway. I mean, you have the driveway on the other side of the building too, but you never
Yes.
know which way people will flee, and you never know what could happen on either side of the building. And
Right.
I don't want to say anything worse. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to
Right,
avoid
right.
that. I'm trying to just say, just make it. I think this happened on another project in the same ward some time ago, years ago.
Okay.
That's why I said make it so that people can get through. That's all.
Okay, yes, when we excavate, we can level off the grade for sure.
And again, there definitely is a paved pathway to that, you know.
Yeah, I think I went to this building
Yeah.
quite some time ago. That's why I asked. And I think the pathway, it seems correct because you're having it at the one point where you just have pedestrians, not having the car running the exact same time as someone's coming to exit the building.
Right.
So it's I think you know where I'm coming from. You know.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Woodruff. Is there any additional questions?
Mr. Chairman, this is Coombs Hollis. I just want to make sure that this is the plan version 2 that the commission is going to consider, because it's version 2 and version 3. I don't know where we are with that.
Yeah. Thank you, Commissioner. So from my understanding, and please, Mr. Solomon, support us with this. What you presented to us is version 2, and this is the one with the recommendation that they came from the commissioners?
Yes, version 2 and 3, yes. With the columns, retaining the porch columns.
Okay.
Well, that,
So
Commissioner Miller, this
sorry.
one is actually more better because the other one, the door is off, is not centered.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Miller. This is Coombs Hollis. That was my thought as well, because I mentioned symmetry, right, in that meeting. And so this would better represent the symmetry that I was looking for with the columns. So with that, I'm good if they could actually just speak to what the work that's been done on the garage.
Okay. It's a detached garage. I'll go to the first page. In the rear of the property. And there's it's a 2-door garage. Makes access to the garage a little difficult with the center pillar because the garage is not oversized. It's a normal size. So the homeowner or the applicant would prefer to remove the two doors and make one larger opening, have a single door instead of 2, to remove that center column and make egress and egress from the garage easier and less dangerous with a wider door. Otherwise, the garage will remain as it is. We're just changing 2 doors to one larger one, one wide one.
Good.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions? Commissioner Howard, just for a point of clarity, because I wasn't at a design review, and Commissioner Miller, you guys, you ladies, are in agreement of the one with the symmetry, which is option 2?
Commissioner Miller, yes, I believe myself that one looks
Okay.
better than that one that was not centered.
Yeah, and I believe this is Gonzalez, from the chain of emails that the commissioner was privy to from the applicant. I think the applicant was looking to do the less expensive version, which had the door off center. But I think at the end of the day,
That's all right. We're going to take up offering after this, and going to use your kind contributions as a part of our renovation budget.
This is Commissioner Miller. I apologize, but when I saw this design, I just wanted to see a transom or a window somewhere, because it's just like a door and the 2 lights. And I don't know, we have several architects in our commission. Commissioner Woodbridge, I don't know if you agree with me, maybe like the door with a transom, or maybe a small, 2 small windows.
So forget
not windows, but something small, not big.
Let me add this as well. And Jacob, keep me honest here. We had initially proposed putting a side light, with our door. So that was effectively to kind of serve as bringing natural light,
Correct.
beyond whatever windows may be with the door. So I don't know, Commissioner Miller, if that might address a little bit of your concern?
Yeah, I think it would look better because I know, and on the right, you're gonna have the bathroom, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so maybe you can, when you buy it, just buy it with one. I don't know, to me that it brings more light and it's just like the whole area, you don't see any windows, it just kind of feels, I don't know, it feels weird, but Commissioner Woodbridge, what do you think about my idea?
You know, it's the one thing about a bathroom is that, or a toilet room, it can bring smells. So you have to have some sort of exhaust coming from something, even if it's 4 inches from the roof or something. That's probably the one thing that you'll do it. I know nobody
Agreed.
Would doubt. So I think that I understand what Commissioner Miller is talking about. I think that you're going to have to. It's a little hard because it's a little tight. You'll have to kind of make that decision. And when you see this, I can understand exactly where she's coming from. But when you're in the process, do what you have to do to make sure that if you can solve it, fine. If you can't solve it, you have no choice. Okay, because it's not like you have a lot of room to do this.
You're not answering my question, Commissioner Woodbridge.
I know. Well, let's put it this way. Let's try what Commissioner Miller is talking about. See what you can do, and that's the way to probably to start it. It is good to have. And do you have the floor plan or a plan from the roof where we could see how much it projects from the facade of the building?
Or also remember, folks, there will be a window to support the bathroom, right? It's just on the side of the home.
It's on the side, but not in the front.
Commissioner Miller, I'm going to need a second and third job to support your taste. That's all I'm saying. I would love to put all of those windows there as well. Just again, keep in mind.
I mean, transom is fine, like you had it before, but it just, I don't know. That was just my opinion. It's all upon how the other commissioners feel as well.
So there's going to be a window on the side?
There's going to be a window on the side, as is shown in diagram right now, I believe.
No, but I mean, in the floor plan of the entrance, there's a window that is now perpendicular to that?
Jacob, keep me honest.
No, there's just a window on the sides in the bathroom facing the side yard.
None facing the front of the home.
That's correct.
That's fine.
Mr. Chairman, this is Gonzalez again. I think whatever we decide to kind of move this thing along, we have to approve a plan that is presented. I don't know if we can ask the applicant to come back or anything. I think we should move this along with the two versions that are presented, if we can take a vote on it.
Well, you make a good point. The one thing that would have helped a little bit more would have been if we saw the outline of the bathroom or toilet room, whatever you're calling it, on the floor plan.
Yeah,
I don't see that.
So this is Commissioner Smith. 4 commissioners were at design review with them, right? And you asked them you made recommendations for them to come, and they did everything that we suggested they do. Now that we've had all these questions answered, can we move to make a vote to vote on this particular application because they adhere to everything that we said they want to do? We have suggestions, but they did what we asked them to do.
The only thing that I'd say, Commissioner, if you look at the floor plan, where is the toilet? Where is this room at on the floor plan?
Well, I mean,
I'm serious about it. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with that. And I'm asking these things so that we can conclude it today. So I'm just saying, where is the floor plan or the walls shown in that floor plan, 6 first floor plan? Where is the toilet room shown at?
In this diagram number 6, this is the proposed powder room right here.
Okay.
On the right side of the entry is on this side with the window facing the side. This is the front landing with the front door, and then we have a mud area here for shoes and coats with the window facing the side yard as well.
So the space to the right of the door,
Is
that
open.
is what we're talking about. Not to the left side.
That's correct. That's possible for a window in that area, yes. Or
Then
a
I,
side light.
Mr.
I agree,
Woodbridge, yes, to the
I
right.
agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. Excuse me, Commissioner Woodward, what did you say?
If in other words, what we're talking about is that powder room on the right-hand side of the entrance.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think early on, I thought that I heard that they're going to put a window on both sides.
The window on both sides is fine, but
It
it's
is
not
there.
the
It is
window.
there in the drawing.
Right. The one on the left side, though, that's open to the space, to the large space, and that's fine. The one on the right side basically is for privacy.
Okay.
And so if the window is there, the only thing that I would probably say to you on that is your door swing shouldn't it be going the other way? Because your door swing is basically coming into the sink. If that's what you want to do, it's one person, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, but it's one person coming in there. So I could understand that, just shutting it, and then you have your space to dress yourself, whatever you have to do. So I'm not going to make a big deal about that, because even if you turn it the other way, you would still hit a person at the sink. But yeah, so
that being said, are we able to make a motion to move on this application? Can I get a motion?
I think so.
This is Commissioner Miller. I'll make the motion. Can you read off the
Yeah.
the
So
application number?
yeah, so this
please?
application H25-070 52-54 Weekway Avenue.
Can you stop sharing your screen, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, one question that we didn't get from Mr. King. You have vinyl right now in the house?
You know what, Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
I apologize. We can't take a vote because we didn't ask if there's anybody here from the public yet.
Oh.
Yeah, so let me take that back. You finished with your presentation. Madam Secretary, is there anyone here from the public that has any comments as it relates to this application?
I do not see any raised hand.
Okay, Commissioner Miller, please proceed.
Can you read off the application number, please?
Yes, it's application H25-070 52-54 Weekway Avenue.
We move to approve this application as shown today, with the, I think that, then, Commissioner Woodbridge, did you ask for something else to be put in there?
No.
No.
I don't think it had any conditions. No conditions.
Okay.
Approve as presented.
As was presented today, I'll make the motion for approval.
Thank you. Make it a second motion?
This is Gonzalez, and I'll second the motion, and I just want to make sure that we know it's version 2, I believe, for Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Okay,
The door with the symmetry.
yes.
Yeah.
Motion made by Commissioner Miller, seconded by Commissioner Combs Hollis. Commissioner Gross-Gloss,
Yes.
Commissioner Woodridge,
Yes.
Commissioner Forsyth,
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell Epps,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Toole.
He had to step off.
Is he back or?
No, he's not coming back.
Oh, he's not?
No,
Okay.
he put something in the message that the.
Okay. Okay. Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Combs Hollis,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, everyone.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much.
your home.
You're all invited when the project is done, and if you're ever in the neighborhood and need to use the bathroom, you are welcome to stop by.
Have that basket outside, right?
Will do.
We
Have
look
a
for your
great night, everyone.
GoFundMe page.
Thank
Yes,
you.
indeed.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Take
All
care.
right.
Take care. Okay, let me make sure.
Was that it?
This out.
Yeah.
Hold on.
No, we have two more.
Oh, it's two more, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just take this person out. Okay. Okay.
We're ready?
Okay, Chair, you can go ahead.
Okay, next application, application H25-073 1020-1026 Broad Street.
Okay.
Applicants here.
Yes, I'm going to bring them in.
So we have three here. Three raise their hand.
Yeah, good evening. Hi, I'm Stephen Doyle. I'm one of the architects on the Newark Symphony Hall project.
Hi, Mr. Dole. How are you? Are there anyone else here also joining you? Because we want to bring everybody in at the same time.
Yeah, I think Dr. Sean Roberts is on from Newark
Roberts is
Symphony
here.
Hall.
Okay. Anyone
Let me
else?
bring in Talia.
And
Talia.
And Talia should be in the waiting room. I just
Yes, I just brought her in.
Okay.
Perfect.
and also Julie Kroon, another architect from our office, is here as well.
Hi, everyone.
Good evening.
Well,
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, sir, what's your name? Mr. Dole. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And Talia, did you want to give a little intro for the project or?
Yes, I would love it. I would love the opportunity. Thank you, Steve. And excuse me, I am in transition, so I do apologize, but clearly this is something that I could not miss. And we, as a whole team and institution, are extremely excited to have this opportunity to get to this point, which is a really exciting thing for the organization. So first, I want to appreciate the last design committee and the constructive investment and the conversation that we had and the improvements suggested to the design. As we all know, we are celebrating our 100th anniversary coming up this fall, and putting the marquee onto the building is a tremendous feat for the organization, as well as an investment into the downtown arts and education district. So
Ms.
we
Young, I'm
made this
sorry.
light.
We can't
Yes.
see you. We can't see you on the screen.
No, she made it, excuse me, Commissioner Miller. She said that she
I
was
am in transit. I do
Oh, I'm
apologize.
sorry.
She's
I'm out
driving.
here. I'm out
Sorry,
here trying to raise some
I
money.
didn't hear that part. I'm like, I
I
don't
am
see
out here
her.
trying to raise some money and headed to a gala, but my team is strong and we are all here, ready to move this forward. So I'm just gonna go off a camera. I don't know unless you want to see the Uber,
No, it's
which I
okay.
don't think
It's
so.
okay. I'm sorry.
No. So we've made the adjustments, per the suggestions from the design, and I'm going to hand it off to Steve Doyle, who is from CCH. That has been our architect on record and really helping us drive to the finish line for this project. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I'd like to share our screen real quick. I think at our last design review meeting, bear with me, I'm just trying to get my screen correct here. Can you all see the render or the elevation of Newark Symphony Hall? Great. Great. So this is the Broad Street facade. It's really an iconic landmark building in Newark. It's a fantastic work of architecture from 1925. Frank Grad's office did it. The main renovation taking place is really the Broad Street facade and a little bit of the two side facades, which is more or less repointing, masonry repairs, some other sort of brick repairs that would also take place along with window replacements along the two sides. But the bulk of the project really occurs at this lower portion on Broad Street. So right now there's just a blank hollow metal painted door for the terrace ballroom entry here on the left side. We're proposing to replace that door with a sort of an aluminum and glass window system and entry system and a new canopy over it. And then likewise on the far right side, there's an arts and education lab entry. It's a very similar condition as it is right now. This is just a painted hollow metal door. There's no canopy over it. So we're proposing a new canopy and basically a series of canopies that would connect the dots between those two entries, really culminating with the main signage for the facility here. I think probably the most helpful thing would be to see some renderings. Can you all see the screen now with the renderings up?
Yes.
I can see it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
No, we're
great.
just seeing the elevation.
Here's the elevator.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Bear with me. Sorry about that.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. So this is that same view we were just looking at, but rendered. So you can see the two vertically mounted LED screens on the two side entrances. Again, the left side being the terrace ballroom, the right for the arts and education lab, with the main canopy with the larger letters for Newark Symphony Hall. One of the comments that came in last time had to deal with the letters for the two side entry. There's a comment that when we had them mounted above the canopies, sort of the lighter color of the letters were hard to read against that limestone background of the building. So the change we've made here, which we think was a great idea from you all, was to lower the pin mounted signage so that it's up against that painted steel of the canopy, and that contrast really helps the letters to stand out and pop. I think the other comment from our design review was to make sure we included some nighttime renderings just to give you a sense of how the lighting, sort of a color changing LED lighting at each of the columns and piers could affect the facade. We're also proposing some lighting up above the main cornice to wash this large panel, and even further up at the fourth floor, this raised limestone section that's set back a little bit from Broad Street. It's pushed back about 4 feet. So really that allows the building and to become just a giant canvas for a series of color changing LEDs, in addition to the signage being illuminated at the canopy. Again, just another view at eye level, looking north on Broad Street, at the Arts and Education Lab here during the day, and again at night with the color changing possibilities. I don't think that we would be cycling through the colors like this on a regular basis. It's probably going to be more of a static light, where it would be one color or another, or maybe a series of colors, but it wouldn't necessarily be cycling all the time like in these renderings. And again, the terrace ballroom during the daytime, with the signage dropped down a little bit into the canopy, and another view at nighttime. So I think those were really the main changes. I mean, just going through the other bits of scope, you'll see on the elevations, we've got a series of colors that denote the masonry restoration approach for the building. There's some millwork or some woodwork that will be repaired and replaced in kind. The copper panels and window system here will be cleaned and repaired. There's actually three smaller transom windows that have been converted over the years into vents, and there's even a window or an air conditioning unit hanging out of the building in one of these windows. So those will be replaced with new windows to match the existing. And then just going through the two side entrances, the two sides of the building. You can see here, this is kind of an oblique view of the south facade. The building at 1030 Broad Street is kind of an outline here. You could get a sense of the canopy at the base. And these windows on the fourth floor will be replaced as part of the project. The existing windows are in very poor condition, and we're not able to reasonably repair them. So these will be replaced with new windows to match the existing profiles with an aluminum window system. And similarly, on the north facade, all of these fourth floor windows will have the same treatment. Just going to the enlarged elevations, this is the high band at the fourth floor level. Again, there's a little bit of a transition between the limestone as it turns the corner, and further back it transitions to brick. So the green is really an indication to have a full repointing of the brick. The blue, I believe, is really just a stucco recoating that will be reapplied to that section. The existing stucco is in relatively poor condition and requires stripping and then a recoat. And also at the main entry, we are providing a new window system at the main entry. So this is actually within the existing opening of the main entry. And then we'll be putting in new doors that match that similar profile to the original doors that were originally constructed with the building, with these round grills that were at the tops and the bottoms of the lights of each door. And then there's a new entry door system that'll be proud of the existing, and this really creates a vestibule that doesn't currently exist at the main entry. So if you've ever been to an event right now at that main entry corridor and someone opens the door, you just get this blast of wind through the space. The vestibule will really help to act as a windbreak within that area. And then the two side decorative wooden panels, these were really constructed for just have a place for posters for upcoming events. Both of these will be repaired and in materials that'll match the existing profiles and repainted to match the existing. Again, just the side entrances, again, a little bit of masonry repair with the green hatch, stucco repair in the blue, and then limestone repointing in that pink hatch. And then again, on the north side, a very similar approach with the windows. And then we had some enlarged elevations here, just showing the canopy heights and profiles. The canopies are constructed of steel. They would be hot dip galvanized to resist corrosion with a high performance painted coating on them that acts as a rubber membrane when it's completed. Really encapsulates all of the steel components into a very protective finish for the steel. All of the letters would be a self-illuminated LED that are pin mounted back to that steel structure. So we've got a 2-foot high sign for Newark Symphony Hall, and then we go to a 5-inch high pin mounted letter for the Terrace Ballroom and the Arts and Education Lab. And then just a plan view of the canopies looking down. We have a laminated glass set between the steel frames for the canopy to allow light down during the day. And then we have a series of purlins or outriggers extending out to the main canopy face. And then these are just the updated renderings I was showing you before, but more in a static form.
Do you have do you have a plan of the existing floor plans before and after?
Sure. Yeah, so this first floor plan, actually, I might have misspoken. This is the line here of the existing sets of like 3 double doors, and that's really the main entry for the concert hall and the entry lobby. This line here is where we're putting in the new line of doors and basically enclosing this space as a vestibule. Right now, that whole area is just outdoors. It's under a canopy or under cover. But it's just a deeply recessed area within the main entry.
Yeah, this
So,
is Commissioner
so-
Smith. I would say, I'm going to cut you off, Commissioner, but that's great because we've been having a lot of social issues with that opening like that.
mhm,
So that protects the entryway.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that'll help. Just the depth of that. I know they've had, you know, they've had a lot of issues with just sight lines, not being able to see into that space. And, Newark Symphony Hall, to their credit, didn't want to put any sort of like protective walls or anything out on the street side. They wanted to keep this a very inviting facility, but I think by extending that entry back out towards these existing stone piers, that'll actually help to replicate what was out there originally, which,
Right.
bear with me, the original facade here from 1927, the arc or the colonnade that runs across, it was completely open. And pretty shortly after the building was constructed, they made a pretty dramatic change and added a canopy, and they pulled the window wall out towards the colonnade. So they enclosed a lot of this front of the building between the columns pretty soon after it was constructed, just 5 years after it was built. And you can see this much larger canopy that was organized in between the middle three bays. Shortly after, well, not super shortly, but like in the 1960s, another canopy was constructed, more of a glass dome that could be illuminated at night with a marquee below it.
Mhm.
And then at some point, not completely sure of the date of the last canopy that was on the building. Believe it was probably early 80s that this one was constructed with a series of columns out pretty close to the curb line on Broad Street. And those columns were pretty problematic because someone actually drove through the curb line, took out all three columns, and the canopy, much of the canopy collapsed, I believe, in 2019, late in the fall.
Right.
So, the condition of the facade as it had been up until recently is shown here. The steel was left fairly open after the car accident, so there was some temporary enclosures added just to make sure birds couldn't get into the mezzanine level. And the steel that's out here has also been painted just to keep it from rusting and to protect the structure a little bit more. So,
Can you show the picture now, the rendering of the after
sure.
picture? Nice.
And Julie, I apologize. I don't know if you had anything else.
Mr. Dole, this is just
Yeah,
out
I
of
think you're
curiosity.
fine, unless you have other questions.
Sarah singing, that's just part of this presentation, right?
Well, I think it shows a great opportunity,
Yeah, okay.
uh, not only just for the historic nature of the facility, but to also show upcoming events and celebrate local artists that could be
Oh, so actually something will be there to promote what's happening and what's coming. Okay, good.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
That's the lighting right there that's going to be on the surface?
Yeah, and again, I don't think we would necessarily have it cycling, like changing colors like this all the time. It would probably be like a constant color.
Okay.
But the idea would be to have the ability to change the colors so that, for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you could have it all hot pink, or for other holidays, you could color change it, as needed.
I understand.
One of the things that we were really conscious about on the design of our marquee was making sure when you walk into the center of our building, which is the historic concert hall, we were really acknowledging the historic component of our institution and strategically using the side of both of the buildings where the canopy lies to do more of the marketing and digital components. So it really matches with the experience of the historic component of walking into the building. I mean, we thought a lot about how do we market, but still really remain classy. and give homage to what the building originally looked like. So there are components of marketing that will happen on the external facade, but you know, and also it's not just the marketing component, but we want to show the culture of the institution, the people that make up the institution, as well as the people that make up the community. One of the also things that we took in action is that once we get past this approval point, we're going to be sending out a communication to the residents that live around here just to give notification that, hey, this is what it looks like. These are the type of marketing components that we're going to be, really to engage them and welcome them into the process.
And I think we're also receiving, the project's receiving funding from the New Jersey Historic Trust. So once we are able to get the approval of your commission, of the Landmarks Commission, we'll be also working with the state to make sure that we can get their approval as well, because a lot of this is their dollars.
Great. Commissioners, are there any additional questions? Is this the end of your presentation, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Commissioners, any questions?
Very nice.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Very nice.
I'm excited for North Central Hall.
Growing up.
I agree that it's beautiful and I like it very much and very happy to see that this is coming. I am concerned. Do you have it? This is not your building, but do we know what's going on in the corner of Kinney?
So
That's the construction. That site is now owned by Paramount, the developer, which is a larger developer in the city of Newark. And they plan to do a residential development, but I don't believe that's happening in the short time due to inflation and
I'm just asking because I'm concerned about that total streetscape in that block there between the park and Kinney, that it remain, it's already been destroyed enough, but that we, as we move forward, really are very careful about the symmetry between what happens with the church facade across the street, what's built on that corner, and how we can build that little area of Newark to be what it once was, even during my lifetime. So just a comment.
Yeah, totally agree.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Because sometimes things have happened along there that basically looked like it was Tale of Two Cities, you know?
Yes, yes.
You know, and so it was horrible sometimes. We coming out when we were all in school as teenagers, coming out after plays and different things like that, performances. I think they're on the right track.
Yep.
It's to make it basically be, let's just say, current.
Yes.
You know, and we see the historic elements just even with the columns that go across.
Yeah, I'm very happy with what I've seen here tonight. I just want to make sure that we move forward in this same spirit with that area.
Right.
This is Commissioner Smith, Commissioner Epps. I think that's the spirit of everyone in that community that is doing work down there to make sure that we have symmetry and that it's celebratory of the legacy and the work that has been that's from the historical context of that community and moving the community forward for the South and the Broad Street.
Thank you.
If there aren't any additional questions, you could take your presentation down. Any additional questions? No? Is there anyone here from the public, Madam Secretary, that may have a comment about this presentation?
I do not see any raised hand.
Great. So that being said, may I get a motion to move on this application H25-073-1020-1026 Broad Street?
I'll move it. Linda Caldwell Epps. Whatever the number is, he said.
H25-073.
This is Commissioner Miller. I will second that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Caldwell Epps, seconded by Commissioner Miller. Commissioner Grosclaws?
Yes.
Commissioner Woodridge?
Yes.
Commissioner Forsyth?
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell Epps?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes,
Motion carries 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
congratulations.
Thank you
Hallelujah.
all.
Buddy.
Thank
We,
you.
we want
Thank you. Thank you.
invitations to the grand opening.
Yeah.
I said you were in
Commissioner
the
Al,
front
we told
row.
him that. We told him
You are
that.
in the front row. Front row.
Right.
Thank
Okay,
you.
good.
I'm going to cry. Thank you so much. I appreciate our community supporting this, and I look forward to bringing everyone back into the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a great evening.
Take
You
care.
too. Thank you all. Thank you for your time.
I love that new design in the front.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's gonna make that area look good.
It will, yeah.
Is everyone going, Madam Secretary?
Let me see. Let me take out this one person here. Okay.
The final application for tonight. Application H25-072, 111 Mulberry Street. Applicant is David Lipkin. Is anyone here representing this application?
Yes, I'm bringing in one Alex Lopez, and let me see.
I see two.
David Lipkin, I'm bringing him in.
Howdy.
Hello, Mr. Lopez. How are you?
Good evening. I wish that wasn't the presentation I had to follow, to be very honest.
Stakes are high.
So
is there someone here with you, Mr. Lopez?
I'm David Lubkin. Ms.
Okay.
Lopez Alix. Yeah, she's one of the project engineers at my firm.
What happens on the bottom of the screen? It comes up David Lopez. So I thought you were David Lopez. No problem. You are David Lopez. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. I'm sorry. Long night.
Not a problem.
Okay. So are you ready to present?
We are.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
We're ready right now.
Cool. Go ahead, Alix. Put it up. So my name is, just a little bit of background. My name is David Lubkin. I work for O&S Associates. We're an engineering and architecture firm located in Hackensack, New Jersey. Tonight we represent the Renaissance Towers Condominium Association located at 111 Mulberry Street. We've been working with the community for almost 20 years at this point. And we've previously presented to the commission when they were doing major upgrades to the front elevation of the building that you'll be able to see in some of the pictures. So today, what we're asking you to consider is a partial chimney demolition, and we'll go into more details as the presentation progresses.
I just want to confirm for everyone that the PowerPoint is showing correctly on the screen.
Mine is saying
Chimney renovation
no
project.
battery. Part of mine is going away.
I can see it, Alix.
Yes, it's there. It's the first page, the cover sheet of the PowerPoint presentation.
Perfect. So a little bit of background about the building itself. So it was originally constructed in 1923. It was redeveloped into a condominium in 1986. It was actually constructed. It combined three different types of buildings. So one is the the primary structure that you see in the photo in the background was the main Newark building. There's a smaller building to the right, and then on the backside up Market Street is a different style of building. And so when it was redeveloped, it was combined all together. It's technically mixed use. There is a parking garage on the lower 2 stories of the building. And there are also, I believe, 4 commercial tenants along the lower ground floor, primarily along Market Street. There's 131 condominium units. And then the structure itself, and again, I'm a structural engineer, I'm a professional engineer, so this is important for us. It's a cast in place concrete floor slab building, floor slabs with steel frames. So the subject of the presentation is about the chimney stack. It's on the east side of the building. So the elevation that you see parallels Mulberry Street. It begins on the 4th floor and it goes up about 85 feet. It's a 2 white masonry wall. And the original purpose of that was for the newspaper manufacturing exhaust system. And now the only thing that it does is it exhausts the boiler system for the garage. Sorry, for the building's boiler system. So it's a chimney stack for that.
You're going to keep it?
So we'll go into that. So we had done a condition assessment in 2022. There are conditions scattered throughout. It's pretty typical in the restoration industry. There's deteriorated mortar joints, there's cracked brick, cracked stone, things that have to be removed and replaced. It's going to be replaced in kind. And then the big component of this is the coating. The coating system is heavily weathered, peeling, debonding. And so originally we were exploring a restoration. So we prepared a scope of work, but after consulting with the board and the rest of the community, this is something that has been an ongoing maintenance element for the building for a very long time, since they
Yes.
were redeveloped into a condominium. And so there's a pretty significant amount of work.
Mr. Lumpkin, which community are you referring to that you guys spoke with?
The Renaissance, the actual condominium association, so the residents of the building.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So when presenting this scope of work within the community, there was a big voiced opinion that given that this is repaired on a 12 to 15-year interval, which is pretty common throughout the exterior envelope restoration industry, they wanted us to consider the partial demolition of it. This is uniquely positioned and at a unique height where it sees significant exposure to the elements. And so the thought process was if we could lower it to an elevation that was 10 feet above the closest roof level, that would significantly reduce the long-term costs associated with the restoration, like I'm describing. Probably the most difficult part of this is access. So the pipe scaffold has to be built off of the building structure. So that it involves temporary shoring. We have to temporarily remove people's patios. And so again, while this work is performed, people will lose their patios for months at a time to be able to do this restoration. We've explored different options using a boom lift and things like that, but it's cost prohibitive to be able to do that. And so as part of our submission, we showed different bid pricing. So the pricing that we had gotten, it was very comparable to instead of doing all this restoration, to lower the chimney stack. And so, yeah, I mean, I talked about this stuff. So it's in the long run, it's safer for the community. It's more budget friendly for them compared to just the maintenance that would be required. And then on the next page, we created a rendering showing what it would look like. And so on the left picture, you can see what the existing structure looks like. And on the right is what it would look like when you drop 10 feet from the adjacent roof level.
I have a question. This is Commissioner Miller, Mr. Lupkins. Is this a contributed building to the historical area?
I don't know that answer. I know that it is, I don't believe it is a historic building. I know it's in the historic district. But I don't know that answer.
You said what it used to be there, right? What used to be there?
The Newark Evening.
Yeah, the Newark Evening News building. But with the renovation that's done thus far, I don't see how it could be a contributing structure. It looks nowhere near like it did.
So
But again,
when going through this previously, my impression was that its proximity along Market Street rendered that it was the area that was considered historic, but as part of the community, they wanted to make sure that this commission saw this before it went to the building department so that you guys could render an opinion about it. And so if there was if this was within your purview and it was something that you felt that had to remain, then that was something that the association would take back to their community.
Do you have a picture of the south elevation?
I can go ahead and bring up Google Earth.
Okay.
while she's doing that, how many smokestacks like this are left in the downtown district? Do you know?
I don't know. It's the only one that I've seen in this area.
So that would be my concern, but keep going. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, so you can this is the south elevation in the where the camera's perspective, that's the Prudential Center. So you can see that 4-story elevation on the left side, that is also part of their building. It's a completely different type of building. And then you have that main structure, and there's all different roof levels, elevations, and stuff scattered throughout. There's I think 5 different facade types throughout, and it is as their restoration engineer for the last almost 20 years, there's a lot of expenses associated with this building. And so the community wanted to try to take advantage of eliminating the possibility of one of those, which would be a significant benefit to them when it comes to accumulating reserve funds and being able to fund some of those other projects throughout the building.
Commissioner Miller, is the architect here? Your architect? Is he here today?
No, we're the structural engineer. We'd be signing off on the drawings as well.
To me, I'm just concerned that this is a contributing building to the historical downtown Newark, and the architect would have known that.
But
And I didn't look it up, so I don't know.
Commissioner Miller, respectfully, Commissioner Epps, who is a New Jersey historian, when she made the comment, because we didn't look it up, but I'm just assuming because it was the Newark Nightly News, and they redid this building probably in the early 80s. This is Old Mulberry Street and all this area, that it shifted and changed because they modernized it.
It converted to a condominium in 1986. You are correct.
Yes.
I'm sorry. This is Commissioner Miller. I'm sorry, Anthony. Commissioner Epps, you said you knew that this is not contributing? Is that what I
No,
understand?
I don't know that it's not
Oh, okay.
contributing. I would guess that in its present form that it would not be, considering the changes that have occurred over the years. I remember very well what it looked like before this renovation, and it's barely recognizable.
Yeah, and Commissioner Miller, if I misspoke, I didn't say that she said that it was not contributing.
Yeah.
What it was
I'm
in the
sorry.
past, what it was in the past as the Newark Nightly News, it is definitely not that in the Old Mulberry Street. It's definitely not, because I grew up around there.
Right.
I'm just saying. Richard, you probably, Gross Close, you probably remember as well, no?
I certainly was here before that was changed over. But I was going to also just ask, the Murphy Varnish building has a very, very tall stack. And I think that they were told that they had to include that in the restoration of that
Yes.
Murphy varnish.
Yeah. That's why I asked the question, how many of these are still around? That I would be,
my
I would be
question, too.
concerned about the height, lessening the height more than the building as a contributing structure. And I'm not gonna say that I have any expertise in that, but they're rare, I would think, around, and that might be something that might be considered historically significant.
And again, we're coming from this perspective on behalf of the association, and we acknowledge that. And so the appetite for them, obviously, we wanted to present this, but part of the design of this was a full restoration program where all the existing colors and aesthetics would match the existing, but one alternate to the bidding process was the partial demolition of this. And then the next step after receiving those bids was to present to this commission and to understand what your opinions were and get that from you.
This is Commissioner Miller. I think I felt, I don't know if everybody is in agreement with what I'm saying, but I will feel better to know whether this is a contributor building or not before I do anything. I'm not sure what your timeline is to try to get this done, but this is the way I feel.
Chairman Smith, this is Coombs Hollis. I actually agree with Commissioner Miller and Caldwell Epps that I think the commission needs additional information before we can move, and I think we should consider that.
I agree.
Is there elevation from the street where we can see the facade, basically from street level?
I think we saw that picture, and I was going to say, if you could maybe, if you had to keep the stack, could you go up maybe about 30 feet? How tall is it from the building to the top?
About 85 feet.
85. Could you come down to about 50 feet and so forth? So we know what it was and we know it's something like that. I'm just quite curious about that part of it.
Yeah, we would. So part of what that would trigger for the association is they would still be required to provide some mechanical upgrades because of just the nature of it, what was approved when it was developed and what the code requirements are. So I think that would be something that they would definitely consider. But they're listening in, but they're not here, and we would present that option to the board.
So, Mr. Lumpkin, based upon we have at least 3 commissioners that really need more information, I think that because you need 5 votes in order to move this forward, I think that without all the information that is being asked, that you may want to come back and submit with answer all the questions that has been proposed before you take a vote on this.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
All right, let us know.
Are my commissioners in agreement with me?
Yes, because I think it's if I had to vote today, I would vote no.
Yeah, and so the thing about it, you don't want no vote. So I think that as much information that you can provide, so we can make an informed decision, will help us to move the process along.
Mrs. A question. When was this facade put on the building that we're looking at right now? When was it done?
The one that you're seeing right now, I believe it was the late 2000s. It was before my time at my company. So it was a brick masonry. It is a brick masonry facade underneath, and then what you're looking at is an EFIS overlay. So one of the advantages of that is it adds R value to the building and allows you to manipulate some of the aesthetics.
This is Commissioner Miller. Mr. Lupkin, you also want to ask your client to look into if this is a historical a landmark.
Contributing.
We don't know. if it's a contributing, but that New Jersey does have grant to help you with that. So maybe you want to ask your client to look into it, and NJEDA.
Okay, I appreciate that very
Well,
much.
Chairman Smith, this is Gonzalez. So the applicant has know what he needs to do to collect the historical data and come back, and maybe our secretary can add this as the first matter at the July meeting.
Yes, I think that's great. The question is that because we have a design review coming up, do we want this to come in design review first to have this discussion since we have one that's being planned, or we just wanted them to bring the information that we asked for and move forward to vote on July 2nd?
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessary to go through design review. I think the question that's lingering is the historical data. I think, in my opinion, I think they can skip design review.
Okay, cool.
I agree with you, Commissioner Collins.
Okay, so so I think that you should reschedule. It's been suggested that you should reschedule for the next meeting, which is on July 2nd, but please come back with all the supporting documents that's been requested and information so that we can make an informed decision.
I understand.
Let me just ask a question about the building that I had talked about, the Murphy Varnish. That is a much taller, I think, taller stack than this one. And they were told that they had to keep it. And I think that the residents of the building were very, very happy that that's the case. And it just happened that 2 or 3 days ago, I went past that building and particularly looked at the chimney. And it's very, very beautiful. It's very, I mean, it just contributes to the building. And I think when we're thinking about the historic nature of the building, I think we're just talking about the smokestack in this case.
Yeah.
No, that building has, I remember it well, where we had to gather for certain things back in the days. And I think that the way they're doing it is very interesting. And I think that at least someone came along to pick up this whole area right there back there. I remember it very well running around. So it's
Richard, I and Wilson, I'm actually looking at an aerial view of the building. I agree. I mean, I would say that the only difference here is that some of the accessibility challenges that present itself for this versus the other one are a little different. But your opinion about the aesthetics of it are acknowledged and understood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that being said, we're gonna move to
Well, I would like to know if there's anyone that has a comment from the,
oh yeah, for the public.
yeah.
So,
We're from
Madam
the building
Secretary, is there
itself.
anyone here from the public that has any comments?
sir, can you stop sharing your screen? I know I don't see any raised hand. And can you announce that this case is going to be adjourned for the July 2nd hearing?
Yes, so now that we don't have any more questions from the commissioners and also no one from the public, we are going to adjourn this for the next meeting on July 2nd.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your time.
Right. Have a great evening.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, Anthony, 1 second. Let me just take out these 2 attendees, and then I have a question about what we spoke about earlier for design review.